Hello, friends, and welcome to this week's episode of From Profits to Properties, where I help you with tactics and tips to help you build long-term profits in your business that grow beyond your wildest dreams, and then take those profits and turn them into wealth through real estate, helping you with ideas on how to buy investment properties, how to build a portfolio of homes, how to buy a new, larger primary residence or a second home. And I'm here to help guide you through that process from start to finish. So today, I want to talk about the P word, procrastination. Procrastination is something that I've dealt with for years. I grew up being that kid in school that got the work done right before it was due, literally in the hallway, right before the work was done, and I got pretty good grades. And I really learned a bad habit. And a bad habit that I learned was that, hey, I can get stuff done under pressure. And working under pressure is really great because I get all my best work done under pressure. You ever said that to yourself? Yeah, it's a lie. Okay. It's simply a lie. You're telling yourself that as a reason to give yourself permission to not get the work done right away. And I'm in a season right now where I'm super busy. I'm blessed. I've got a great business. It's very, very busy right now. A lot of my peers are not busy, but I've worked hard and I've put myself in a position where I'm super busy. And it's times like this when I realize, I can't procrastinate, because if I procrastinate, I will never do it. If I don't give myself a deadline, if I don't make sure that I've got it on my calendar, it may slip through the cracks and never, ever, ever get done. But more importantly is the thought of just being busy. There's a saying that says, if you want something done quickly, give it to a busy person. You ever heard that one? Like that one, if you think about it, it's like, well, it doesn't make any sense, because a busy person means they're busy, they can't get it done. They figure out how to get things done. There is a law called the Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law says a task will expand to fill the amount of time allocated for its completion. If you are a busy person, you don't have the ability to have that task expand. You don't have extra time to get it done. And so you give yourself a certain amount of time to finish it, and you have to get it done within that timeline. That is what I have found to be the cure to my procrastination, is to focus on Parkinson's law and say, let's give each task less time. Let's focus on what I can get done in the amount of time that I have and complete the task within that timeline, and not give myself extra time. That's the flaw when you're not busy. You ever go into a restaurant and there's a point when a restaurant is super, super busy and the service is horrible. And there's a point where the restaurant is super slow and the service is horrible. Why is that? Because, well, when they're busy, that's obvious. But when it's slow, you'd think that they'd have the time to come see you often. The problem is when they're super slow, they're just sitting back and they're looking at their phones. They're chit-chatting in the back because it's not very busy. So when you're too slow, you say, I got time to get out there. It's no big deal. And you never pay attention. And as a person, as a patron, I'm looking around to try and catch the eye of my waiter or waitress. And when they're not walking around at all in the restaurant, there's nobody to catch their eye. And you feel like the service level has gone down significantly. Well, they're just experiencing Parkinson's law. They're not busy. They've said, oh, I can make it out there. We delivered the food 10 minutes ago. It's not a big deal. I have time. What they aren't paying attention to is that half of the times that they have to respond to somebody is because they caught a little wave or they caught their eye because somebody needed something. And you knew that because you were walking through the restaurant. Think about that in your business. Think about that in the tasks that you're doing within your business. What things can you tighten up? How can you make your calendar tighter and give yourself less time to get something done so that you can finish more things in a shorter period of time? Now, this isn't about creating an environment of stress and anxiety. It's about creating an environment of getting things done. Okay? It's about getting things done efficiently and effectively, and most importantly, combating procrastination. Stop yourself from thinking that you get the best work done at the last minute, and instead start scheduling things into your calendar, giving it shorter time blocks than you think it's going to take, because it's crazy how you'll figure out how to finish it within that time block, because that's all the time that you had to get it done. So I'm keeping this episode somewhat short, actually on purpose, because I'm super busy right now and I'm trying to shrink this task a little bit in order to make sure that I'm getting everything done that I need to get done in my day. So that's a hack that I'm showing you and demonstrating for you, is that, hey, these are normally 15 minutes, probably going to run closer to 10 minutes today, because that shaves 5 minutes off and I can get some other things done with my time. So hang tight for the second half where I talk about wealth building and real estate. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Take this quick commercial break and then I'll be right back with talking about wealth building and real estate. Talk to you in a minute. Hey everybody, I want to take a quick time out from our show to remind you about my Rent Qualifier Loan. If you are looking to build your real estate portfolio and you have gone through the process before buying rental properties, you know it's a tedious process of looking at everything, and that isn't required anymore. Check out my Rent Qualifier Loan where we simplify the process and you get similar interest rates with a lot more flexibility simply by looking at the rental income of the property you're buying or refinancing compared to the mortgage payment. So for more information, reach out to us by calling us at 85 Loan King. That's 855-626-5464, or go to 85loanking.com/RQ. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the procrastination episode. So what does procrastination have to do with real estate and wealth building? It has to do with your timing to make a decision. The biggest flaw I see with people in real estate is thinking about it. It is really hard to make a decision to change from where you are today. Too many people are going to stay on the same path, whether it be, hey, I think I'm going to buy a rental property and I want to buy a rental property, but I don't want to make the wrong decision, so I'm going to do nothing. Or I own a rental property, but I think I want to sell it and exchange it for something else, but I don't want to make the wrong decision, so I'm going to do nothing. Or I have a property and I want to refinance. Rates are falling, but I'm not sure if rates are going to fall further. And so maybe if I wait, then I can get a better interest rate. And you end up never refinancing because you can't make a decision because you're afraid of making the wrong decision. And that is a version of procrastination. It is about overanalyzing something and becoming paralyzed and not moving forward and making a decision. And so I encourage you, as we think about getting things done quickly, my mantra for today is make decisions faster. Gather the information that you need, talk to 2 to 3 people at most, okay? Get their thoughts on it, but don't ask beyond that. Many people ask too many people for advice. They ask people, hey, do you think I should buy this house or this one? Hey, do you think interest rates are going down, or do you think this is as low as they're going to get? And you're going to get enough people over time that are going to give you enough different answers that you're finally going to get somebody who agrees with what you were thinking. And if that's what you're looking for is confirmation, then don't bother asking anybody, because you're going to get confirmation at some point. You're also going to get somebody that's going to say you're completely wrong and you should go a different direction. So I encourage you, when it's time to make a decision, set a deadline. Make that decision quickly. Do not procrastinate on it. Research and determine what information you need to have. Ask maybe a couple, maybe 3 at the most people that you trust what their advice is, and then make a decision. Pull the trigger. Buy the house, sell the house, refinance the property, add to your portfolio. Do what you see as the right thing to do, because timing will never be right. There's no such thing as perfecting the timing. You have to look at overall, you're going to get some right and you're going to get some wrong. But the more decisions that you make, the more of them are going to be right. And typically, the winners are going to outweigh the losers. You have to mitigate your risk. You have to say, hey, if I'm going to win, I can win bigger than if I lose, I'm going to lose smaller. If you can lean that direction and make decisions that get you going that direction, then your wins will outpace your losses. Even if you have an equal number of wins and an equal number of losses, if your wins have a greater upside. It's like I was listening to a podcast last week and they were talking about investing in startups. And everybody says, oh my gosh, I want to invest in a startup. I could be an early investor. Why can't I get into that? Because look at all these people that invested early into Facebook or Amazon or any of these things. And the truth is, one of these venture capitalists says, look, the problem is 90% of these companies fail. And so you have to understand that I'm taking a risk in making this decision, investing in this company, investing in whatever it happens to be in this case. And 90% of them are going to fail, but the winners significantly outpace the losers. And so if I can win on 10% of the time that I gamble, and I win 100 times as much as I gambled, then it offsets the losses. And that's what you have to look at. That's how I would encourage you to make a decision and to move forward in committing to not procrastinating, looking at it and saying, based on everything I see right now, is this the right decision? If it is, make the decision. Pull the trigger, kiss the girl, do what it is that you've been procrastinating doing, because you won't ever get to where you want to be if you play it safe. All good things in life live on the other side of fear. You just have to walk through the fear, and the fear is never as nasty as you think it is. The worst case scenario is rarely as bad as what you're afraid it could be, but we're kind of programmed to think that way. And so I'm trying to reprogram, I'm trying to get you to think a different way. I'm trying to help you to grow beyond where you're at right now and help you to make a decision, whether it be in business, whether it be in real estate. Take charge in making decisions. You will never get all of them right, except for subscribing to my podcast and sharing it with everybody that you know. That's an easy decision. You can do that right now. If you haven't already subscribed, if you haven't shared this with 10 of your best friends, do it today. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to continuing to be your guide, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye-bye.